Yo, what is up, guys? WW Gib here, Will Gib, but we have a big topic to discover here. Kuro Games CEO Solon Lee has two exclusive interviews right here that we are going to be reviewing and discussing about. So, without further ado, let's lock in and let's see what is Solon Lee talking about in these interviews here. So we have one talking about a Korean interview that he had, and another one was a game like rewards interviewer. So both of those very good to check out. As usual, let me know what are you guys most hyped for 2.0. I have a ton of videos coming out for 2.0, so make sure to stay tuned if you enjoy this. Like, sub, appreciate all that, and let's get right into it. So first thing here, just talking about the discussion of the interview and everything, and what they were, talking about and all of that. Also, if you don't know, the PS5 version will be launching simultaneously with the version 2.0 of Wuthering Waves, which is pretty big here. So first off here we have Wuthering Waves has reached its half anniversary since launch. How do you feel? Solon says, it's been a journey from uncertainty to confidence. When Wuthering Waves was released, I often wondered if it would be loved by players and hoped it could survive. But the amount of love it received exceeded our expectations and motivated us to consider long-term content that could repay the love. Holy. Looking back, I feel we initially lacked confidence that our work would be recognized through Wuthering Waves. We realized we were growing, and that realization reinforced our determination to aim higher, knowing our creations would be acknowledged. Huge. The transition from version 1.0 to 2.0 feels quick. Was this a deliberate decision? So then the world of Wuthering Waves Solaris contains various regions beyond Honglong. After introducing Jinzhou and Honglong, we immediately presented Reneskita to show aspects we hadn't revealed before and to demonstrate our evolution. As I mentioned, long-lasting love from our players requires us to continually prove ourselves, and this was part of that effort. Appreciate that. While we're cautious, we aim to deliver significant new content roughly every half year. With this in mind, we've worked hard to bring Reneskita to life for our players. Now, I think this is crazy here. They are planning on doing a big, massive update similar to 2.0 every 6 months. That is crazy. That is pretty big. Next, we have gun-focused characters have felt somewhat underwhelming until now, but Carlotta in 2.0 seems to address this. Can we expect more engaging gun characters in the future? Additionally, will the weak parry performance of the 4-star gun characters be improved? I'm glad players are taking notice of Carlotta and giving her positive feedback. We're considering multiple aspects when it comes to gun characters. In fact, we're closely examining overall weapon and character balance. That's pretty good. That is a very good thing to talk on there. Gun characters can't parry, but I feel like it makes sense that gun characters can't parry because you can also parry with echoes as well. So like it's kind of like a trade-off type of thing. But from the IGN gameplay we've seen, it seems like Carlotta has a parry mechanic that she has in her kit because she has like multiple guns, which is pretty cool. Question, alongside 2.0, the PS5 version is also launching. What was the most challenging part of its development? Probably getting Sony to actually accept it. Because if you don't know, Genshin Alloy only exists so that Genshin could be on PlayStation. That's it. Optimization, without a doubt, that's also another thing. This is our first release on PlayStation, so there was a lot of uncertainty about how to optimize the game for it. Since optimization directly impacts the gaming experience, we devoted significant attention to this aspect. That's really good. Hype for your PlayStation players finally get to play. I have a chatter that tells me all the time how about they've been waiting since the game released to play on PlayStation. So, 6 months to get the game on PlayStation, that's pretty big. In Reneskita, echoes previously seen as enemies are now integrated into daily life, which is intriguing. Could you clarify what echoes are? Will they appear similarly in other regions as game mechanics or interactive elements? Solon says, echoes have been a complex aspect, both in terms of world building and content integration. We've explored many possibilities, and their usage in Reneskita is the result of ongoing research. I love the echo system. In terms of leveling echoes and stuff, that needs work still. But in terms of echoes, like combat-wise, I've been loving echoes. They also got the nightmare echoes, which are coming out, which I hope solves a lot of the problem with the base echoes on how you don't really want to use them because they have either too long of an on-field animation or it's just literally not worth it to use them. I want a bunch of people to be like dreamless, or to like really smooth. And he said players can expect further applications in future content. Next question here. Story and direction seem to be improving with each update. Characters like Cheng Li, Shorekeeper, and Camellia left a strong impression. Will Renascita exceed these expectations? Are there plans to refine the early story? Solon says, it's heartening to see the positive response in each new update. However, our core storytelling approach hasn't changed. We designed characters and themes that align with the unique identity of each region the rover visits. By letting players gradually discover and connect with these elements, we aim to foster emotional engagement. Now, there has been a lot of Wuthering Wives allegations, and I think they're pretty valid, but we will see what they keep going on with future characters here. And I think one of the biggest thing is that characters don't ever have any story on themselves without being connected to the rover at all. And I hope that's something that they work on. He also says, this approach remains consistent in Renascita. The new region is a carnival-filled city with secrets distinct from Jinzo with its characters and storyline. We aim to deepen player connection. We've crafted something special, and I hope players look forward to the new story. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Seems to be a, royal class hierarchy type of drama going on there, which is pretty cool. Question, what key aspects of 2.0 in Renascita would you like players to enjoy most? Solon says, there's so many. If I had to choose, I'd say I hope players appreciate how Wuthering Waves continues to evolve, showcasing endless possibilities. One thing I think people are not complaining about enough, by the way, and it would literally, and it shows that people aren't complaining about it, I think Tower. Tower is a system that can be improved on significantly. Significantly, they can improve on Tower, and people just aren't talking about Tower diversity, how it can be way better. People don't like Pincer. I think people don't complain about Tower enough because Tower is in the base game. And, Pincer event had its lots of opinions on it. Then we had the Simulacra event. They got instantly fixed pretty much. If people complain about Tower, give your criticism on Tower. Tower will get fixed, man. I believe Kuro Games on fixing Tower, but we just have to say, yo, Tower is kind of garbage, yo. We need to fix that junk up. Anyways, from 1.0 with Mount Firmament and Black Shores Renascita, each version has been a step forward aiming to surprise players. Our team has been relentless in its efforts to improve, and 2.0 reflects this progress. Player feedback is one of the most important things for our development team. Like I'm saying, guys, we need to get Tower fixed. Also, I want an FOV slider. Side note. Let me know if you're an FOV slider gamer, by the way. I've been asking a bunch of people about this. This is a very mixed opinion for some reason. I think people don't know the beauty of an FOV slider, the freedom of it. Anyways, next question here. It might be a bit early to ask, but in the beginning, Wuthering Waves mentioned the 7 regions of Huanglong, including Jinzhou. Now that you move to Renascita, a completely different setting, what can we expect in the next world of Wuthering Waves? Solon says, as you mentioned, Huanglong alone has its regions beyond Jinzhou, and Renascita itself has its additional cities. Yeah, with this the 6-month big patch cycle, I'm wondering if we're going to go back to other places, because since we're going to Renascita and we didn't go to some place like the New Frontier with like Kolcharo and stuff, or Danjin, they might go back to there, or they might build more on Huanglong and stuff, because there's more places we haven't gone to, like they said. Anyways, he said, wherever we go next, there are expansive storylines ready to unfold. Our challenge is determining how to present them fully and effectively. Pretty big. Another major consideration is meeting player expectations. Huge. The experiences we provide must satisfy our audience. Knowing how much players have cherished what we've shown so far and their anticipation for what's next motivates us to rise to the occasion. One of the key directions is delivering fresh and diverse experiences players haven't had before, and we're constantly refining ideas to achieve this. Pretty big. Sounds very good. Never settling, Kuro Games refines its unique identity. Another question. Wuthering Waves has achieved significant global success. Did you anticipate this level of achievement? How much has the company grown since? I'm loving that Wuthering Waves has been a big competition to the gacha scene. And, I hope it keeps growing. The overwhelming love and interest we've received globally have far exceeded our expectations. This has instilled in us a strong sense of duty to create even better content to meet the expectations of players worldwide. In the 6 months since launch, our team has grown significantly in many areas, including development pipelines, talent cultivation, and technical capabilities. As a content creator, it seems like they have been working more and more on the content creator program side of things. So I believe this. We've achieved remarkable progress compared to our pre-launch date and remained committed to continual growth. Now, I think the content creator program still needs work on it, but I'm glad that they are, expanding their branches and everything. Wuthering Waves has been especially successful in South Korea. What do you think contributed to the success? Also, if you engage with Korean players through events like G-Star last year and other offline gatherings, do you have any plans to meet with Korean players again? Solon says, while we've received incredible support globally, we are particularly aware of our success in South Korea. It's surprising and deeply gratifying to see how much love we garnered there. It feels through our vision and efforts have been acknowledged, which is incredibly moving. Although we still have room for improvement, we're determined to replay that love through our work. Huge for you Korea players out there. I often visit Korea for personal travel, but I've also hoped to have more direct opportunities to meet players. In fact, we'd love to meet players whenever they enjoy Wuthering Waves. However, our current focus is on ensuring the highest quality content and experiences for players, especially as Renesita in development. Once the timing feels right, we'll definitely explore ways to meet players face to face. So probably they have plans for, conventions and stuff in the future. They did have that thing when the game was coming out, that advertisement where they had like the bus go through all of North America, which is pretty cool. Next question here. Personally, I've been impressed by the high-quality action, unique art style from Punishing Gray Raven to Wuthering Waves. How has Kuro Games managed to maintain and refine this distinct identity? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Wuthering Waves looks significantly better than PGR. Not to trash on PGR, but you can tell that is like their next game for sure. It's like seeing, Honkai to Genshin and so on. I mean, huge improvements there. Zenless current day in the Hoyosphere. I mean, pretty big. So Solon says the key lies in the passion of our developers and their desire for creative expression. It's driven by a relentless commitment to innovation and willingness to embrace challenges. At Kuro Games, we constantly pursue new ideas and strive to bring them to life through continuous exploration. Pretty nice sounding. Kuro Games has become a prominent name in the subculture gaming scene. What is the guiding philosophy and vision behind the studio's success? What kind of experience do you ultimately aim to offer players through Wuthering Waves? Solon says this year, Kuro Games established our core vision as challenge is greatness. Holy. They also partnered up with Tencent, or not partnered up with Tencent, and they got more claimed by Tencent, I guess. I'll say they partnered up with Tencent, as in Tencent is supplying more support for them. The idea is to pursue seemingly impossible challenges and realize greatness through them. We aim to embody the spirit in our games. Additionally, we strive to create valuable and innovative game experiences that aren't confined by specific genres or conventional game formats. Our goal is to deliver something truly unique and meaningful to players. Lastly, do you have a message for Korean players? Solon says, Korean Rovers fighting! Thank you so much for your continued support. Please keep looking forward to what's next in Wuthering Waves. Now that interview, I think that interview means a lot. It shows they are pumping. They are pumping content, man. The future of Wuthering Waves, it looks very promising, and I'm definitely hyped. Definitely hyped for Renesita 2.0 and all of that for sure. Now, this interview was amazing, and we have one more to check out here that was posted by Narasio from the GNN interview, exclusive with the Wuthering Waves. Let's get a nice little zoom in on this here. Also, can move, gameplay. Anyone watching that in the bottom left, move that over. I think this one is also a little bit shorter. It's just really zoomed in. Yeah. So next interview we have here is with GNN. I have no idea what that is, but they were interviewing them for the award winnings and stuff that they've had. So GNN says the 2.0 version of Wuthering Waves introduces a new large-scale area of European-style influences called Renesita, which includes many new medium-sized zone, new storylines, new echoes, and new map exploration methods like sailing and gliding. What was your core design concept for developing Renesita? Solon says the core concept revolves around the keyword freshness. Since Solaris is an enormous world, every new nation is a key opportunity for us to present a sense of freshness. We hope that Renesita can showcase a novel style to players, such as performance of new characters and echoes, new movement mechanics, and unique cultures and landscapes. We want this update to bring players greater surprises. That's it. I mean, Renesita does look very promising. GNN says, with the upcoming release on the PS5 platform, how do you think this will impact the development and audience expansion of Wuthering Waves? Probably going to be a huge influx of players. PlayStation or just console gamers getting a free game to be able to try out is huge, and Wuthering Waves is pretty good. Probably will lock in a lot of people. I think it'll be huge. It's like Zenless, for example. Zenless, a lot of people don't know. There's a huge percentage of Zenless players that are console gamers. Solon says, first of all, it's driven by the voices of players. Since the game's launch, players have been urging us to bring it to PS5. That is true. Thanks to all the drifters for their patience, the console version of Wuthering Waves is finally coming. Additionally, Wuthering Waves, content-rich game that fits well with the PS5, allow us to showcase our strength in character design, action mechanics, and open-world exploration. It also gives us more opportunities to attract console-only players to experience the charm of Wuthering Waves. Very true. GNN says, for new PS5 players, they might worry about starting the game later and being unable to catch up. What are your thoughts on this? I think this is a not a bad question, but a terrible mindset to have. A gacha game, realistically, you're going into it, you're FOMO. You are FOMO pilled if you are thinking about you are getting in late and like you're missing out on all this stuff, okay? The game is PvE. It's single player game. You are joining in, if anything, with way more content, tons of more stuff to do, and you know, a way better base game than what a lot of people are playing previously. So the best time to start playing Wuthering Waves is now. Solon says, after months of optimizations, version 2.0 is a great entry point for Wuthering Waves. They did say it's going to be like a soft relaunch. Anyone interested can dive in right away. Additionally, we've introduced a direct pathway to 2.0 content. They did do that after Chapter 1, Act 3. You're able to just go straight to Renacita, and that's like literally like baseline of the game, like 20-30 minutes. So players don't need to complete all prior storylines to experience the new content, which should significantly reduce the burden for new players. I believe that as long as the content is appealing enough, players will be willing to spend time exploring earlier storylines. We sincerely hope that more console players will experience and discover the fun of Wuthering Waves. Sounds pretty good. GNN says, besides the PS5 platform, are there plans to launch the game on other platforms in the future? I mean, it's on PS5 and console. I don't know what else it could be on. Maybe the Switch. It's Genshin Switch, by the way. It's never coming out. Solon says, we'll consider launching on other platforms, but it'll take more time. The platforms we're currently operating and planning to release on are already numerous enough. Yeah, I feel like PlayStation, PC, and mobile, that's like all you need, realistically. I don't think they can really add anything else. Team capacity is always limited, so we must first ensure stable maintenance. Yeah, I don't know about this question. Like, what other platforms would they go on? Oh, I guess Xbox? Who plays an Xbox, bro? Come on now. For us, stability and quality come first. We'll focus on stabilizing the existing platforms for a sufficient period before evaluating future opportunities. GNN says, what are your plans for future Resonators that players can interact with? How will new characters and combat styles drive Wuthering Waves' combat system? Ooh, this is a good question. Solon says, our plans for future Resonators are clear. Stronger interaction with players and other characters. We aim for a more ensemble-like experience where players witness their own stories alongside others. That sounds really good. Closer integration with the open world. We want Resonators to feel deeply connected to Solaris elements rather than being isolated entities. This connection enhances immersion and brings the Resonators to life. That sounds pretty good. Also, we finished this run here. If you're watching this, we're playing it again. More new combat mechanisms and variations. Admittedly, this is challenging, but our team is actively exploring bold ideas. This is a field we excel in, and we aim to consistently deliver fresh experiences. More captivating and immersive designs, from appearance and action designs to voice acting. We're pursuing higher quality expressions across the board. GNN asks, how do you strike a balance between meeting player expectations and implementing changes? Now, I'm going to say for the launch of the game, I don't think they did this well. They listened to CN way too hard, and then CN ended up trashing the game and making it way worse. If you don't know, a ton of the early game story, I think a lot of the reason why it's so bad is because they had to change it so fast and so quick. And I think they just stuck with the OG story and locked it on that. The game would have still been as successful as it is, and maybe even more successful, because people would have liked the 1.0 story, and it may not have gone to trash as much. Don Jin had like a way better backing on her story, and she actually had a story quest early, which was about how crazy she is. She's like schizo, you know, and she's just like kill hungry, you know, death, all that stuff, you know, people messing with her. Yeah, GG's. And then there was Chishia, Baiji, all of them. People didn't like that they were opposing to the rover at the start of the game, which doesn't even make sense, by the way, because we literally just spawned in there and we were able to just instantly tap Crownless and claim him as a Pokemon. Like, come on now. That story was way better than what we have right now, where everyone sees the rover immediately and we're like, oh my god, the rover just came here? What? I think the OG story was way more down to earth and fleshed out, but that's just me. Solon says, from our from our perspective, there's been a gradual formation of mutual understanding between us and the players. Two key aspects of this understanding are we've learned how to resonate with players, and players understand our approach to the game and development. Initially, players expressed dissatisfaction globally due to areas where we underperformed or uncertainties about future direction. Over time, through 4 versions, players now have a better understanding of our operational approach, as players have more positive experiences with the game and understand our development plans. Through community updates, overall reactions have improved. That is true. That said, criticism and suggestions will always exist, which is not a bad thing. On the contrary, they're essential for driving future improvements. Listening to player feedback and conducting multiple rounds of testing before official releases will help us build even stronger mutual understanding. Pretty true. I think creator server should be more broadened, by the way. They have a creator. I think creator server, the concept of it was just bad for the gacha environment overall. But if it's going to exist, more people should have access to it. It shouldn't just be people that are sponsored or like just random people that don't actually care about Wuthering Waves, and they're just, yeah, I don't care if anyone's getting their bag, get your bag, but like, there was the whole VARs thing, which I don't think it was VARs need to get nagged on that hard, but like that's an example of a person that like is only there for the sponsor. Anyways, GNN says, could you reveal any plans or updates for the future? Ooh, getting spicy here. Solon says you've likely seen the 5 new characters we've announced. The 2.0 version and subsequent stories will revolve around them. Future story clues are hidden in the current narratives, waiting for players to discover. While I can't disclose specifics about later versions, one thing is certain: we aim to continuously surprise players approximately every 6 months. So reinstating what we've seen in the other interview, how they have the big update every 6 months, but here he's talking about specifically something substantial like the 2.0 update. I think this is so huge, by the way. If they lock this in and it's actually good, Wuthering Waves is to the moon. By the way, Wuthering Waves is to the moon. I'm going to say GCN. GCN. Will there be collaborations with other franchises in the future? I'm super hyped for this. I really want 2B in the game and other characters as well, but 2B, I feel like one of the big ones because they've already collaborated with Nier, and Nier collaborates with literally everything in PGR. So I'm super hyped for that, but they probably have to hold off because the game is still developing 6 months into the game. Solon says, for now, our priority is telling Wuthering's own story. The story of Renesita is just beginning. That's pretty valid. And GNN says, finally, is there anything you'd like to say to Bahamut's players, which is what they won the award for? I don't know what this is, I'm be honest. Solon says, I recently learned that Wuthering Waves won the 2024 Bahamut, I don't know how you say that, Game of Anime Awards for Most Popular Mobile Game Gold Award. Now, I'm not going to lie, for all rewards, they recently had a nomination for Game Awards, and I feel like that's probably better than this. Or they could have said both of them, I don't know. But this is Kuro Games' first time receiving this honor, and our development team is overjoyed. It feels like we've been truly recognized by players. We will transform your expectations into our mission and continue delivering even better content. Can't speak today, I have no idea. Anyways, those interviews, man, they are very, very promising. Let me know what you guys think about this future of Wuthering Waves. Like I said, I'm going to be covering a ton of Wuthering Waves stuff, 2.0. I'm going to have a ton of stuff there. If you want to be there early, make sure you're subbing, hit that bell, comment down below what you think. I'm super hyped for Zani, by the way. It's my favorite character so far, besides Shengli and stuff. So, yeah. That is the interviews. Hope you enjoyed my coverage of this, and goodbye.